So let's start off by learning how to do a bridge. When you learn how to do a bridge, I want you to lay flat on your back and I want you to bend your knees. Once you're in this position here, you should feel that your back is a little bit flatter towards the ground compared to when your legs were straight. Now, one common mistake that people make when they do a bridge is that they begin to lift from their back first. I want to make sure that you utilize your glute muscles. So first, this is how you do it incorrectly. When you go to lift up, you arch the back and then you try to lift. That is the incorrect way of doing a bridge. In order to do a bridge, you want to initiate this motion with your glutes first. So you're actually going to squeeze your glutes and push through your feet to lift up and then coming back down. Depending on where you're beginning with this exercise, you may need to have your arms flat on the ground so that way you can better support yourself. Just make sure that you don't use your arms to push and initiate up. You want for the initiation to come through your glutes, so through your buttock muscles to push up and then to come back down. Now, if you want to add in some additional core muscles for engagement with this exercise, you can combine this with a posterior pelvic tilt. So in order to do that pelvic tilt, you're just going to gently flatten your low back against the ground, but don't squeeze your glutes to flatten. You're going to use the muscle on your lower abdominal region to help you flatten. So gently pulling the belly button in to rotate the hips backwards to flatten on the ground. And now hold that position to keep your lower abdominal muscles engaged. And now you can do your bridge by using your glutes to lift up and coming down. Good. So holding that position again with the lower abdominal muscles to lift up, with the glutes, squeezing those glutes and coming back down. If you want to further progress your bridge, you can do something as simple as adding in a hold every time you lift up. Just make sure that as you add in that hold, that you don't hold your breath. So something as simple as lifting up and holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and coming back down. If you have exercise resistance bands, you can tie those around your knees. So now you're able to actually push the band out into the knees. If you don't have that, you still can progress this exercise without any additional equipment, simply using different positions for your body. So let's talk about a few more progressions with this exercise. So I've already shown you how to do a bridge using both of your legs. Now I'm going to show you how to progress this bridge. So now you're only pushing with one leg. You can do this in 2 different ways. The first way I'm going to show you is where you're leaving one leg straight and flat on the ground. So the leg that is bent, that is going to be the side that is pushing. But as you push up, the goal is to use just your glutes and also to keep the hips level. So you're going to push to lift up. And notice my leg lifts up as well, and then coming back down. So that is one version of a single leg bridge, to push up and back down. Good. A different version you can do of your single leg bridge is the same thing, starting off with one leg straight. This time I'm going to show you with my opposite leg. So straightening out that leg. And now you can lift the leg that is straight up off the ground. Once you have that leg lifted off the ground, now the leg that remains bent with the foot on the ground, you're going to push with that leg to lift up and back down. And just as we talked before, you want to make sure that you're not holding your breath when you're doing this exercise. One last progression I'm going to show you when you're in this position that you can try for your bridge is when you are adding a march in. So for this one here, just as we mentioned before, depending on how comfortable you are with your stability, you may need to have your arms flat on the ground, or you can let them rest on your tummy. Resting them on your tummy is going to be a little bit more challenging, okay? When you go to do this last progression for the bridge that I'm going to show, same thing, initiating with your glutes to lift up, lifting the bottom up. And now in this position, now you are going to march. You're going to lift one leg up and back down, and lifting the other leg up and back down. Now, what we don't want to see is we don't want to see you dropping as you lift up. So as you lift one leg up, you shouldn't drop off, okay? We want to make sure that you can hold the hips nice and level as you are marching to do this, and keeping the glutes up, keeping the glutes nice and engaged. And don't forget, you can still engage the lower core by gently pulling that belly button in as well. Going down to give yourself a break. As you're doing this, make sure you keep the hips level so you shouldn't see the body rocking side to side. Those are just a few easy exercises that you can do to help strengthen the glutes and also work on the lower core. A lot of times, whenever we hear our core muscles, we only think about the abdominal muscles, but the muscles surrounding our hips are very important for proper core engagement. So give those bridges a try. First, make sure you know how to do a bridge properly. And then as you're able to, gradually progress it to challenge yourself even more.